Hey guys, got a brand new RC car. I've already modified it a lot from when I got it, but I'll kind of show you what it was like when I first got it. Well, that's what it's supposed to be. A Kiyoshi car. I got it for $5 because it was broken. It did not have a remote, didn't have the body, the Cobra body, and it had a broken wheel, and so and the radio system was trashed. So basically just needed a whole new radio system and to fix that wheel, and that was basically it. That's really all it needed. So first up we got the knuckle, which I fixed here. Move this out some. All works fine. Repaired it right in here. Turns fine, nothing wrong with it. So fix that. That was the first thing. So now the car rolls. Now I knew I had it good. First thing I noticed when I first looked at this was the big motor it has in it. I mean, like, look at this electric motor. This thing is huge. It's really wide. But it didn't work because mostly it didn't have a remote, and it had an old AM system in it. AM radio. So it wasn't up to date, and it didn't have a remote, and it's hard to find AM remote. So I said, forget that. I got rid of that, and I put this FM receiver, which worked with the regular system that I had in it. But this was actually servo here, which turned a something like a valve, which electricity through, which I'll show you. Okay, so that wire goes to that. This was the servo. It let the electricity through, and what it do? It would open up. It would turn this rod, and then it would open up this thing right here, which would allow electricity go flow through. As it opened up, the more it opened up, the more electricity it went through. The less it was open, the less electricity that it went through. So that's how that worked. This is a resistor. It would heat up if you went too slow. So I fixed all that, so now I'm able to go really slow, really fast. Doesn't matter, doesn't heat up. It took this old battery. It took this 6-cell battery, 7.2, really fat, really heavy. I could still use this if I wanted, but I don't. I use a way lighter battery, so now it could be a lot faster. So that's basically all tossed. I'll save that in case I need another servo motor for something. But there's that. That's all done. Took out that whole system, and I put in this system that I got from a Pro Pulse. This is what a Pro Pulse looks like. It's a little buggy that can go 30. Or 25 plus, whatever. Depends what motor you have in it, but it goes from that little motor. And it had all these electronics in it, and the battery, which I do not have, it's charging. But it has the steering motor like this one, except that one's a more high-powered steering motor than that one, but this one works fine. So it didn't have to worry about switching it out. It all plugged into this perfectly. I didn't have to worry about it. I love that. So I was able to do that. Now it's FM. If I didn't tell you. So it's got a speed control, different kind, better. They respond so much better. It's just better overall, this whole electronic system. So I do not know how fast it goes. I haven't driven it with the new electronic system. I've driven it with the old, but it was okay. It wasn't bad. The AM system had a lot of frequency problems. So, but when I switched it over FM, it shouldn't, because that car didn't have any. And all I did was took out this. And it has a bigger motor, so I don't know how that'll do on the effect on the car, but we'll find out. So I'll show you how this works. So it receives it through the antenna, comes through the antenna into here, and then it sorts it out. And then when it gets here, it sorts out what's steering and what's speed. So once it receives the signal to steer, it goes down here to the motor, and it turns, and it tells the motor to turn whichever direction. Well, that's easy. And then for the speed control, it tells the thing to speed up, goes to here. It tells this to speed up, which it tells it how much to let through and all that. And it tells it, and then it lets the electricity through the wires into the motor and tells it how fast to go. I'm hoping this car will be at least pretty fast. It does have a full bearing kit in it. They usually come with that. It is a car that cost $219 when it was new. So it still has original bearings. Wasn't driven much. It was driven for about a year of racing, and then the guy crashed it. When I first got it and I ran it, the motor froze up. So I unlocked the motor and then I greased it up a lot with my super lube. This has seen some days. It's got like some kind of brown material. No, it's not poo. It's just oil, and it was out in the garage. It's a synthetic lubricant with Teflon. Teflon is the best thing you could do for years. It stays on there a lot better. But there's a whole bunch of it in there. You just don't want to put too much because too much is bad for it. So it really goes now. It's really quiet. And that's basically it. It's a lot lighter than it did. It had a big servo, that big thing, and then it had the huge battery. It no longer has that big battery. It has this very small one, this red thing, very small. I have to show you how this works. Hold on, 2 seconds. Unplug this. This is the battery, 7.2, just even smaller. Works so much better. I could actually hook this up to an X-Mod if you guys are wondering, but I don't. It'd be too fast. And I have a feeling I might blow up the feds if I did that. So just stick the battery in there. All I do is stick the battery in here. I'll have to make some kind of new fabrication for these because it's different. Have to shorten them somehow. But so there's that. Then the battery just stays in there like that because it has no place to go besides back and forward. Well, it can't go back and forward. I mean side to side, but you know what I mean. It doesn't fall out. It's hard. It's got it stays in there pretty good because of the huge wire. Now I'm gonna plug it in. Make sure my wires aren't touching anywhere. Okay, so that's what it is when it's plugged in. It just plugs in like that. All I have to do is I turn always the remote on first. This way I have control right when I turn it on. Then I turn this on. Boom, there it is. A red light lights up. That's so it lets you know that it's in neutral. And it won't go anywhere until I press the gas, and that red light goes off. Makes sounds. That's actually from the motor. Let me put this up on something so I can run it. Put my X-Mod charger under the back wheels. No, don't fall off. So then you have your regular steering. Get a full view of this. That all works fine. Then you have your motor. As you can hear, it runs all nice. Got regular backwards and forwards. Backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards. And then you got your throttle control and steering trim. But I don't need to use that because I have it set up right. So there you go. That's how that works. There's really simple compared to the other system. Really hard to explain the other system, but it's got a unlock differential. I forget what you call that. Unpawsy rear end or something. I don't know. Car terms a lot different, but there you go. That's the car. If you guys want to see it run, I will try to make a video. It should go over 20 from scratch. I'm not sure how fast it'll go with that big motor. If it'll last a long time, I do not know, but it should do pretty good. So if you guys want to look it up, what it's originally supposed to look like, there's a picture right here, and that's what it's originally supposed to look like. But if you really want to look it up, it's called I think Gnostics, something like that. That's how you spell it. Right there, I'll leave it on there. And then Car Series, if you want to put. They made it in a GM and a Stingray. These cars are super rare. A new one, Cobra, costs $400. Now, since I got this working all perfectly, this thing's worth about $100 to $200. I mean, it's worth a lot because I got it working. Even though it has not, I do have the original parts. I'm missing some, but it's still worth a lot because they're rare. So that's my new RC car, and bye.